Hello everyone! Today I thought I would show you my process for a painting I'm making for an art challenge on Instagram called Plaid Paint Challenge. Link is down below, and if you feel like painting this as well, you must go there to find the reference photo. But to begin with, I've taken a screenshot of the reference photo from Instagram. And now I'm placing my paper on top of the iPad. I got quite a large iPad, so I can use it as sort of a light board. I've also turned up the light on my iPad to make it shine really a lot. And then I will make the room I'm sitting in a little bit darker, and then it's very clear to see the reference photo underneath the paper. And then I just draw it like you see here, all the outlines, and this is quite an easy way to do that. After I have finished that, I take off the paper and then I will draw in some of the things I think is missing. I didn't see when the paper was on top of the iPad. And there you go, here it is. I'm Miriam, an artist residing in beautiful Denmark. I do paintings in watercolor, gouache, acrylics, well, pretty much any medium I can lay my hands on. I'm here to help you learn how to make beautiful paintings and learn different skills in mainly watercolor but also mixed media. Come, join me and let's paint some beautiful paintings together. If I can do it, you can do it. And now I have taped my paper to a board all the way around. Then I have this rubber net gum, and then I just remove some of the harsh pencil lines because I don't want the pencil lines to show through the paper when I've finished the painting. And here we have color circles we made last week, and I thought I would use one of those to determine which colors I was going to use for this. And I just look at the colors to begin with and see what kind of colors I would like to use in the painting. These colors are very beautiful, I think, so, and the green as well. But yeah, I have to figure it out. And there's just something about this warm color wheel. Even though the pink colors is not that bright, I just really love these colors. So I decided to go with this one. And then I start with mixing all the paint. And I'm only using 3 primary colors to mix all the colors I'm going to use in this painting. And these colors are Hanza Yellow Deep, Pyrrol Scarlet, and Ultramarine Blue. And I begin with mixing a darker pink color, and then we have a very clear color, the Pyrrol Scarlet, and then I mix a darker red, and to make a darker red I put in some of the blue color, and then I make a more orange-like color, and here I put yellow into the red color, and now I have the blue color where I put the yellow color in to mix a green. I would like a lighter green and also a darker green. So for the darker green there's only a little bit of yellow, and then I just want a clear blue color as well. So now I have all the colors mixed. Then it's time to paint. The first mix I made, the sort of rose color, I have made it very watery, and I begin the painting with wetting the first petal of the flower, and then I put in this very light rose color. And I like how the paint flows on the paper when you do that, and especially here when I put in the next color, which is the clean red, because now they are sort of flowing together. And then I go in with a darker color as well. And this is my procedure on all the petals of the flower. First I wet the petal, and then I put in the lightest color, then I put in the red color, and then I put in some of the dark. And I'm looking a little bit at my reference photo to see where the colors is going to be. But you don't have to follow that completely, because perhaps you have a looser painting style and then you just drop the colors in. It will look amazing anyways. The important thing is that you have some lightness and some darkness in the painting and on the petals. And now I'm going to paint the flower lying on the table, and to begin with I wet the flower, and then I put in the lightest color of rose. And here I'm putting in a little bit of the green because I can see that in the reference photo, and I just let it go from the edge and allow it to flow out into the flower, and also in the middle. And here I again wet the petal and put in the lightest color I have. It's a little bit of the Pyrrol red with a little bit, tiny bit of the ultramarine. And now I'm going to paint the vase. And I do this with the clear blue color. It's quite a watery mix. I don't want it to be too dark because it's glass. So the first layer is very watery. Then I can always go in later with a darker mix of the blue to paint shadow areas and so on. And I continue with the flower here. Oh no, this is a leaf on the flower, I can see now, and I go in with the yellow color, the Hanza Yellow Deep, a watery mix, and then I dab in some of the green color. And I really love these challenges. It's nice to challenge yourself in what you're going to paint, and it's really fun to work out the colors you're going to use, because you could go after the same colors as you see in the reference photo, or you can do like I do here, try out some new colors and see what happens. And since we are now working with color wheels at the moment, I thought it would be fun to try and use only 3 colors and mix them together and see how that would turn out in this painting. But let me know down in the comments if you love art challenges as well. And give me some tips if you have found some that are really great, because I'm always up for this. I think it's so much fun. And now it's time to paint the stamens. And I do this with an orange. I have the Hanza Yellow Deep and I put in some of the Pyrrol Scarlet to make a beautiful orange color. And there's also some stems here, and I go in with the green color I have mixed. And this is the first layer of the flower. Once I have painted all the petals and all the leaves and all the stems and so on, I will go in with the second layer and make some definition in different places. And now it's time to paint the stems that goes down into the vase. And it's quite important that the blue color you painted the vase with, that this is completely dry, because we don't want this green color to flow into the blue color. So that's quite important. Yeah, and I'm using a size 6 brush. I got this very nice pointy brush and it's my favorite. I think it's called a silver brush, black velvet silver brush. Yeah, you should be able to find it on Amazon or places like that. Unfortunately, we can't get them here in Denmark, so I bought mine in Jackson's Art Supplies in England, and this was before they left the EU, because now there's taxes and all kinds of things when you want to buy from over there. So yeah, that makes it a little bit impossible and expensive. So I'm quite happy that I got these brushes before everything got difficult. So do you have any favorite brushes that you use? I would really love to hear some recommendations, because I think sometimes a good brush can be quite hard to find. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. And yeah, a painting like this is not finished in just a few minutes. It takes time to paint a painting like this, but the result you get, I think, is really worth the time. And I really love to sit and paint and relax at the same time. It's so calm and relaxing. And you can also work this painting in steps. So you could decide to paint the first layer, and then you can say, I don't have any more time today, and then work on it later the next day. Yeah, that's up to you and how much time you have. I think this painting took me, counting everything, about 2 to 3 hours. So that's quite a long while, but yeah, you can see at the end if you think it was worth it. And now I go in and work on the second layer on the stamens, and I have mixed up a bit darker mix of the orange color. And now I found out I forgot to paint the first layer over here on the rest of the flower, so I just wanted to do that before I continue with the second layer. And in some places I put paint in and then I lift it off again with a damp brush to make highlights. And along edges I put in darker color so that you can see there's a difference in the colors between the petals of the flower. So where sort of two petals meet, there will be some dark color on the outline. So, and I do wet the paper before I drop in color, most of the time at least. So, because this allows the paint to flow very nicely together and we don't get those very hard edges. And I think the painting look nicer when there's not a lot of hard edges. And here I have found my number 2 brush, and now I go in and make the second layer of the stamens. And I do this with a darker orange mix, so there's more red in the mix than before. Yeah. And then I just go in and paint and make definition. And this small brush is really doing a good job for that. It's very easy to control and work with. Now it's time to give this leaf a second layer of paint. And here I've mixed a bit darker mix, or a bit stronger I would say, mix of the green color. Then I also go in with some of the dark green along the edge in the middle of the petal and paint in this. And here I just enhance the green color. And with this, the primary colors, you can make stronger or darker mixes of color, depending on how much you put in of the blue and how much you put in of the yellow. So you can actually vary it quite a bit. And in some places I use quite a yellow mix of green to paint with, especially on the stems. And on the stamens, and in other places I use a green color with more blue in it. And now I want to make some definition on the vase, so I go in with another layer of blue, and I'm looking at the reference photo to see where there are shadow areas, and I just go in with the blue color the second time, and I think this is enough. I don't feel I need to put in another color than the blue. I think the blue works quite good for this. Sometimes you could paint in another color, because the glass vase reflects the surroundings, but I didn't find it necessary in this one. And here I'm working on the leaf again. I make a stronger mix of color and put that in. And I make sure that everything flows together with wetting the leaf first before I put in color. And here I put in some Pyrrol scarlet, clean color, again to make an effect. I felt like the colors were too similar in the leaves, so I wanted to break that up a bit, so I used some pure red color. And now I have finished with this flower, and now it's time to put in the background. And here I get my color circle to try and work out what color I want for the background. This was quite a difficult choice. I ended up with the yellow, but I felt like the purplish color could be quite nice as well. So if you decided to paint this with me, you can put in another color or the same color as me. That's completely up to you what you prefer. And also if you prefer not to put in a background, that's okay as well. I think the painting is beautiful without it. And here I've grabbed my big number 12 brush, and I wet the area where I'm going to put in the background color to make everything flow together and avoid hard edges. Then I just go in with the yellow paint. I actually think it's quite pretty. And down in the lower half of the painting, I go in with a very light mix of blue, and perhaps there's a little bit of red in it as well to make it not look like the vase. So, and I've also decided to put in a stronger yellow color here and there in the background to make variation in the background. There you go, the finished painting. I think it's quite beautiful, and this shows really how beautiful painting you can make with only 3 colors. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe and like and all that. That will really help me a lot. I hope to see you again in another video. Bye for now.